The model numbers of Samsung's 2021 mini LED TVs have been leaked by an online database. Let's talk about it. Hello everyone, Vincent Teo from HDTV Test here. A few days ago, I did a video talking about how LG's 2021 OLED TVs have been listed on the Korean Communications Commission website. And through the same method, we can now also find out what Samsung has in store for us in 2021 next year. So, using the same method by searching for Samsung and QLED, we found out that the South Korean brand has registered the following model numbers: KQ65QA60A, and also the KQ65QA70A, and then we have the KQ65QNA85. Next, we will have the KQ65QNA90. Now, there are other model numbers in various screen sizes, but these are the key ones, and we are going to try and decipher it. So, let's start with the prefix KQ. This denotes that these models are for sale in Korea. So, in Korea, Samsung's QLED TVs always start with KQ, whereas in North America, such as the USA and Canada, the model numbers start with QN. And QE is the prefix for Europe, and QA is the prefix for Australia. So after that, we are going to go to the next numerical number, and that will just denote the screen size. For example, KQ65QNA90 will mean that it is a 65-inch screen. Now here is where it might get a bit confusing, because I think the nomenclature for the Korean models is slightly different from the nomenclature for European and also American models. So if we take inspiration from last year, we have the Q90T, which is probably the model we are most interested in, because it is still a relatively affordable 4K model, but it has one HDMI 2.1 port on HDMI port 4, making it ideal for playing next-gen console games on the PS5 and also the Xbox Series X. But if we look at the model number on a Korean website, you will see that it is listed as KQ65QT90A. So QT90 seems to be the model number that is prevalent in Korea, whereas in Europe and also in North America, the model number is Q90T. Now, I don't know why the difference exists between Korean model numbers and also European and American model numbers, but it may be because in Korea, surname usually come first before your first name. And let's say the award-winning director of Parasite, Bong Joon-ho, Bong would be his surname, and his first name would be Jung-ho. And the thing, in Western culture is to actually prioritize the first name. So you would say John Smith, where Smith is the surname and John is the first name. So it is in reverse to the Asian culture, and that may be what is happening as well. So taking cues from this, what we can say is that, with the QA60A series, we are probably going to be looking at Q60A in the UK and Europe and also in the USA. What this means is that Samsung will be abandoning, the alphabets after T. So, for example, this year for 2020, it is denoted as Q90T or Q80T or Q60T or Q70T, with T denoting a 2020 model year television. But next year, they are not going to be continuing with it. They're not going to go with U. They're not going to go with V. They're just going straight back to A. So I believe that they will be calling their model numbers Q60A, Q70A, Q80A, if there is such a model. And maybe it is because 2020 has been such a year. Even LG, they are starting from the beginning. They are not calling their TVs C11, they are calling it C1. And the same applies to Samsung as well, they're not going to be calling their 2021 model Q90U or Q90V. They're going to be calling it Q90A. Which brings us to our next point of trying to decipher the KQ65QNA85 or the KQ65QNA90. So there is this new N character inside the model number, and this may be related to what the company calls as Neo QLED, which is their marketing term for their mini LED technology. You can see that, the company has registered a trademark maybe back in September for QLED Neo, and many industry insiders think that this will be related to the company's mini LED technology. So I think, next year what will happen is that with the Q85NA and also the Q90NA, these will be the top 4K QLEDs that will be using mini LED backlight technology, and hence the N in the model number. So hopefully, that makes it clear. And again, I think we have to wait until CES and also maybe Samsung's European roadshow for us to get some sort of confirmation whether I'm correct in my guesses or not. But, piecing all this information together, I think it is very likely that Samsung's 2021 mini LED TVs will be called, at least in the 4K guys, the Q90NA, or the step-down model will be the Q85NA. If you'd like to watch some of our other videos on next-gen display technologies, I created a playlist here if you'd like to click on it, and I will see you in the next video.